from con man? It comes from the word confidence. It's confidence, man. Long cons take very, very long periods of time.
Hey everybody, I'm Tommy and you are on the lifeboat.
Short cons, a person in a really nice outfit goes in front of something like a casino or whatever, and he's cursing and running his fingers through his hair, freaking out, and he wants to be spotted. If I could get $5 to get back in there, and then he says, hey, my watch is worth 35. You're not asking for their confidence. You're giving them confidence. You say, all right, so you get back out there and you go, look, man, you get just $5, right? He goes to the bank, he gets the $5. Well, while he's doing that, you swap out, obviously, for the fake. That's called a short con.
Hi, everybody. Here we are. Today, we're going to talk about Brett Miller, aka Tommy Scoville, again. And we are going to talk about Brett Miller's, it's a very hard subject, but his violent SA of a 15-year-old girl. And while it happened many years ago, it was a felony conviction. And I feel like it's important for people to know about because it's been spun in a way that has watered it down and made it seem like nothing. And it's not nothing. Coupled with his behavior and all of the things that we know about him, the con that he runs and still is running, according to his own words, and his background coming from literally an idyllic, beautiful town in Vermont. And I will show you some pictures that are just breathtaking. And I want to walk through, again, the affidavit from the court papers. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make it very difficult for Tommy Scoville, aka Brett Miller of the Lifeboat, to come back into this community. And there has been some instances that seem like it's possible that he's trying to weasel his way back in. And I'm going to make it very, very difficult because I think it's important that we warn people. And anybody, drawing from my church days, he who has ears, let them hear. Okay, so I want to play some of his own words. This is fairly recent. I'm not sure of the date. I forgot to look at the date, but you'll see by the background. It was within the last year that he did this this video. And I want to play some of it in his own words. And I'm going to debunk it and show you the lies.
I think Ashton is pretty damn guilty of the same crap as his friends, and I agree. But all I can tell you is that that's my opinion. All I can tell you is that that is my opinion. I did a show once where I talked about this, but I'll throw it out again, and I shouldn't because it just gives the trolls so much fun, but I don't give a crap. I had a statutory case with a 15-year-old. Did you hear that? Okay. They'll take this clip. I had a statutory case with a 15-year-old. Make you think less of me, doesn't it? I was 16. Does that change it? So I had a case where a girl was less than a year younger than me. In fact, she was less than 6 months younger than me. Irrelevant. The point is, it starts getting a little creepier when those ages get different, right? When I was in college, I knew guys that were 19 that were dating 17-year-olds, right? Maybe even a 16-year-old. But I'll tell you something right now. Not today. Not freaking today. We live in a very, very different culture, and I think it probably should be. We're changing in most ways for the better. Unfortunately, we're trying to kill the boy, right? We don't want testosterone anymore. We're doing everything possible to rub the boy off the planet. God forbid, they will literally kick kids out of kindergarten for making a finger like this. We've got issues. I mean, it's that knee-jerk crap. We want to.
Okay. So first of all, they were not less than 6 months apart. I have both of their birth dates, and it's in the paperwork that I redacted. I will show you, but I had to redact their birth dates. That they are 11 months and 1 day apart, and so almost a year. Now, I don't think testosterone makes somebody RAUP somebody. The way he spins it, and that's the reason why I played the rest of his statement about it, because see how he spins things. See how he makes you think that, oh, it's not that bad. Well, it wasn't a statutory thing, and I'm going to show you the affidavit. I'm going to read from it, but first I just want to show you that it exists, and I want to walk through it with pictures and video of the actual spots where each thing happened, so you can get kind of an idea of what we're talking about. Okay, so let me share this. Okay, so this is, sorry, my Facebook. So this is the heading. I wanted you to see it because it's official information by state's attorney, and it has his name. I got rid of the address and the birth date, and this is it says right here, sexual assault and felony. The date of it was 3/17/87, and let's look at. Okay, so this is the first page. I just took a Sharpie and got rid of the names, most of the names, anyways, and anything about the victim, her name or any birth dates or anything. So that's why it's actually a photo for this and that. Okay, and again, this is the sentencing. It says sexual assault, minimum 4 years, maximum 10 years, and it was suspended for I guess because he was young and it was his first offense, and they gave him probation. I still haven't figured out how long his probation was. I've talked to some law enforcement officers that think that it was probably 10 years, but I'm not sure. And this is from the Vermont Crime Information Center, and it has it right in black and white that it was conviction level was a felony, and his date of conviction wasn't until 3/4/1992. So it was a solid 5 years afterwards. Now this tells me that he was charged and convicted from by his own admission that he did it. They had it on record of him saying it because the girl was carrying a wire, so he confessed. And they had charged him as an adult. Now saying that, oh, it's because they're close in age and that it's a statutory thing. He was so young. All this. It was a violent assault. And he was convicted as an adult. Now, if you unalive somebody or if you attack somebody like that, and it doesn't matter if you're 16, 17, whatever, he was almost 17, he was 16 and a half, almost 17 at the time, you're going to be charged as an adult. So that's the truth. It's the truth. He's lying. He's absolutely lying. It was not a statutory thing. It was a felony conviction. So, okay, let me go through. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, let's get to a little bit of the fun part and then we're gonna get into the serious part again. Okay. So Doug and I took a trip on Monday to a very beautiful spot in Vermont. I actually went live on our way up, which is really nice. So I'm going backwards and looking at my pictures. Okay. I'm going to show you a bunch of really cool spots and talk you through this. Okay. One sec, guys. Sorry. So this was when we first got off the highway in Vermont. We drove about 2 hours north, and this is in Heartland, where we got off the major highway. And I'm gonna just play, a few clips and let you see like where we were. I don't even know if you're gonna hear anything. We weren't really talking much. I was just mostly filming. So cute little town with little barns. You can see how very rural it is. So this is Heartland. This is a little bit south of Woodstock, where everything happened. Brett was from Bridgewater, which was in the same school district as Woodford. Okay, so a couple other little sites, a nice little river, and it goes into a hydro plant with a waterfall. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the covered bridge. There's lots of covered bridges. Sorry about my finger. That. All right, let me pause this for a second. Okay. Sorry, I just had to make sure it wasn't muted or anything. There's that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I think I got another shot of the waterfall. Oh, that was Duncan. Still shot. He always takes the best pictures. Here we go. Okay. So, oops, sorry. So this is coming into Woodstock. You see the sign? Just talking. Like, I got it. Awesome. Okay. And this is the town. This is the main thoroughfare. It's called the Green. Look how beautiful. No wonder they've done all kinds of movies here. It's just a very beautiful place. This was such a beautiful day. And I'll go through what some of these buildings are later, but I just wanted to give you a feel for where we are here. So beautiful, huh? Okay. Excuse me. Now this is around the corner a little bit. There is another covered bridge I wanted to show you because I know that Brett, I heard him mention it at least once, and I think he took a picture in front of it. I feel like I've seen that. So let's go here. Cute little town. There it is. There's the bridge. Has some significance here. We had to wait. It's one lane, so we had to wait. I just wanted to show you going through it. Or I wish I had some background music or something. Not really. I can't edit worth means, so. Okay. This next thing, let me just check in because I'm still working from another screen. Okay, everybody good? Let me go back to this. So this is, I'm not gonna say the name of the street, or the road. It's mostly roads up there, but this is in Bridgewater, where I almost said Tommy. I like to say Brett, but I'll say Tommy Scoville so people know what I'm talking about, where he lived at the time of everything happening. And I'm not gonna point out the house. Not even sure exactly what house it is, but I know that this is where he grew up. And I just want to kind of show you. It's a very beautiful place, very beautiful road. And there were horses on it. I'm not sure. I think I did get some footage of the horses, but I'm not sure if I set that up for today. But just, beautiful, idyllic. I just want to bring you up to the top of this because it's got like nice little farm. It looks like a fence that keeps the horses in. And you can see the mountains in the background. Just beautiful. Okay, then we turned around and I stopped it. Okay, one sec, guys. I'm gonna get a little drink. Make sure I unmute myself. Okay, what's next? Okay, this is where things get rough, and I want everyone to just take a deep breath. Be warned, if trigger warning here. If you need to take a break, please do. But I'm going to read through this affidavit. Okay, let me show you a little bit of this. This is the high school. We didn't, get much because it was in session. I didn't want to get any of the see me filming. I didn't want to get any of the students or anything. So there it is. Okay. Okay, so you get an idea of where we're at so far. Okay, I'm gonna read some of this. I don't know why I'm shaking, guys. I've read this a bunch of times, but I think it's important. Okay, first part of it. Sorry, there it is. Okay. Okay, so this is in the first person so far from the law enforcement officer, who's a law enforcement officer for over 9 years. It says he was presently, at the time, the investigator for the Windsor County State's Attorney's Office, and he makes the following affidavit. On February 9th, 1990, the Windsor County State's Attorney Victim Advocate, and says the name of the advocate, which is fine, made arrangements for me to interview and her name, the victim's name, at the Woodstock High School. She had made allegations to a school counselor that she had been sexually assaulted by a fellow student named Brett Miller. I have interviewed and have obtained a sworn statement concerning the allegations. In brief, alleges that on March 17th, 1987, between the hours of 10 o'clock a.m. and 12 o'clock p.m., she was in the music room at the Woodstock High School. Brett Miller was in the room as well. The two moved to a stairwell that connects the music room with the auditorium, which is located on the second floor. She and Brett Miller were talking and had shut the door behind them. While talking on the stairway, Brett Miller unzipped his pants and took out his penis. This is her speaking, Brett grabbed my arm and turned me around. I, at this point, was 2 steps beneath where he was standing, this time with his penis out of his pants. He held my arm with one hand and behind my neck with the other. He repeatedly told me that there was nothing to be afraid of, pulling me closer. I then told him no, and to let me go. I struggled with him for at least 5 minutes. Then I finally gave in to him, hoping he'd then leave me alone. End of quote. She told me that Brett Miller had put his penis into her mouth against her will. She was age 15, says her birth date. Brett Miller, his birthday was 16, and they were 11 months and one day apart. Okay. She advised that she had complained to a school official at the time, but because of the fear of publicity, would not pursue the case or divulge the actual circumstances. Okay, so that's the scene at the high school and the report, and let me move on. Okay, so that's his class picture. He's right up here. See him? There's somebody behind him. This is him. That's a blow up of it, very pixelated. Okay, so that's the courthouse. I'm going to unmute it so you can see the vicinity and where this Woodstock Inn is, and I'm going to read a little bit more. And oddly enough, right next to the courthouse is the Woodstock Inn, which is part of our story. Isn't that beautiful? And it's huge. You're only seeing like a section of it. There's a doorman out there. There's all these wings. It's got to be at least triple, at least in the front. I didn't go in the back to see how much. I could probably find out the square footage, but it's enormous. And it looks like one of the main businesses in the center of town. So I can understand why they would have, possibly worked together. It's a huge place and a very small town. So probably employs a lot of the younger people. So let's move on. So there it is again. I just couldn't take my eyes off it. It's just beautiful, but also sad. There it is. I didn't want to be too creepy. There it is again. Took a lot of pictures. Okay, there's a courthouse right next to it. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to use that as a visual. Okay, let's pause that here. I'm going to read a little more from the affidavit. Okay, it says, in the fall of 1989, so this is about 2 years, a little over 2 years after the incident, she, meaning the victim, went to work at the Woodstock Inn. Mr. Miller also worked at the inn. The victim stated, just in the past 4 months, he has bothered me again. We both worked at the Woodstock Inn. Brett would follow me into rooms and shut the door behind him. He'd pull up and grab me. This happened 6 or 7 times from November to January. One afternoon, he put $450 in my hand and asked me for sexual favors. About 1 month before that afternoon, he was off duty and I was alone on the 3rd floor. He came up to visit me. He walked toward me, unzipping his pants. I turned and he walked away from me. I turned and walked away from him. He took his penis out of his pants, asking, "What's wrong? Don't you like looking at guys' dicks?" The victim told her supervisor of the incidents, and Mr. Miller is no longer working at the Woodstock Inn. The victim wants prosecution brought against Mr. Miller. She told me that Mr. Miller has heard that she's gone to the authorities, that on February 24th, 1990, Mr. Miller contacted her by telephone and wanted to talk about the incident. Based on the preceding information, the Honorable Judge George Ellison issued a search warrant to record phone calls and in-person conversation between Brett Miller and the victim. Okay, I'm going to go to another frame here. Courthouse. Okay, this is about the vicinity where they're talking about Main Street that goes into Pleasant Street, and there's a restaurant that they went to that is no longer in operation. But this is pretty much the spot where they're talking about in the affidavit. I believe I tried to get as close as I could. Okay, a phone call was made to Brett Miller, and a meeting took place on the 9th of March, 1990, between Brett Miller and the victim. Mr. Miller and the victim met in the village of Woodstock, Vermont, at approximately 400 hours at Bentley's restaurant, which it's on Facebook, but it's no longer in operation. After meeting, Mr. Miller, and the victim walked down Main Street to Bond Street and onto Pleasant Street. Detective so-and-so of the Vermont State Police and I personally observed Mr. Miller and the victim together. She was wearing a wireless device, and the conversation between the two was being listened to and recorded by Detective so-and-so and myself. And this is important. Please listen up for those in the back. This conversation has been transcribed and corroborates that the incident described by the victim did occur. The incident did occur. And it's in the affidavit. You can go back where I flashed it and read it for yourself. Okay. Okay, so we did a little bit of sightseeing. We also spoke with some locals and met up with one of them and talked to them. We went to Long Trail Brewery that my husband loves, Long Trail Ale. So we went there, he bought a t-shirt, and he loves to ski and he loves beer, he loves microbrews. So here it is. If you're ever in town there, he had blackberry wheat. I had some kind of lager in the middle of the day, which is funny. But yeah, and then there was a moose I had to get a video of. Isn't it cute? And that's our dinner, our lunch. I had cheddar ale and Duncan had some kind of chili. And we split this. I didn't really care for that. Don't get that bruschetta thing. Okay. But that was good. Okay. So I spoke with some locals who know some of his teachers, one of which was, interviewed, and it was relayed to me that Brett Miller was known as trouble, that he was a terrible student, that he was getting in trouble a lot. And from what I can hear from other people that, knew him when or had heard of him, he's not liked and he's not welcome there. So you can imagine why. And I did not reach out to the victim. I don't want to. I will not. I don't want to meet her or talk to her. I don't want her to relive any of this. But I did hear from people that know her that she's doing really well, and I'm so glad for her. And I hope she's moved on and had a amazing, amazing life. So, yeah, I wanted to walk you all through that. And it was a nice trip. And we ended up extending it a little bit and going to New Hampshire, staying in a nice hotel, going in the pool. I feel so refreshed. I love to swim because it really helps my joints and my bones, my weary bones. So there it is. I think that's pretty much what I had to say about it. And I'll take your questions and comments. And I think we need a Zena Marlene. Let's do it. All right, everybody partake. So glad to hear that she's well. Me too. Yes. As an aside, that's Marlene. We got the Zena Marlene emojis. Yes, awesome. Hey, Constance, good to see you. Okay, let's go through some of your comments. I'm going to back it up a little bit, if you don't mind. Anna from Canada, new member. Thank you so much for being a member. Appreciate you. Thank you, Stace, for your warning. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is here. David, Caroline. Hey, thank you to all my mods. Robert B, listening at work. Awesome. Glad you're here. Scrolling down. Okay. Hey, Joel. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Hey, Susie. Glad you're here. Aileen. Hi there. Yep. That is true. Northern Girl. Hey. Of course, Stace, Spearia, and Giorgio. Oh, thank you. I have like 3 of them now, all different color, all different shapes, but I'm like really into them. Like, I've never seen them, but I love the looks of them. So I think maybe they're, I don't know, they're supposed to be like somewhat spiritual or something, you know. And some people say that they're good for like fertility, but not here. None of that going on. We don't want any kids. Yeah, I agree. Brother B. Hey, Brother B. Yeah, Predator Hunter. Yeah, I didn't really plan on this, but I care about this community. So Miller Crime Family. Yeah, Goat Juice. I think you're right. I don't trust any of them. No, he's not. Let him get him canceled. Yeah, well, I mean, I usually don't say that. Like, I have never said, you know, go unsubscribe from somebody or I'm going to cancel them or want to cancel them. I've never said that a certain person, woman, shouldn't have a channel. Never said that. I could come up with a lot of reasons, but I don't care about that. I care about I do care about their reach though. I do care about people that I know being conned by them. I do. And people I don't know. So maybe neither of them should have one. I don't know. But I feel like there's a desensitizing going on, and I want to make sure that the truth keeps being put out there and that people can't say they didn't know. They can't say that they weren't warned about this violent predator. And do I think that was the only incident? I don't have proof of it. Not accusing, you know. But I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just put it that way. I would not be surprised if it wasn't the only incident. He said, somebody we know tries to make it easy for him to come back in here again. She still alleges that the sex offender stuff is a lie. She still alleges that. Okay, well, it's in black and white, and I decided to publish this, and I know it's on some other channels too. So, yeah, try to deny it. Still alleges sex offender is a lie, and she never saw anything for that matter. I've offered to send it to her. You know, at this point, I'm not going to send her any more emails. Let her spend the money and the time coming after me because she has not anything to stand on because I back everything up with receipts. So, she can try it, and I'd like to see her spend the money, not me, and not any of you. So, as you notice, I haven't put up a GoFundMe because I decided, you know what? Everybody that knows me knows I'm not a racist. So, let her try. And if in the future, if it comes up and it hurts my life, my livelihood, then I will revisit. Absolutely. But she's hurting her own livelihood. And there's people every day that are coming to me. One who I was shocked that he was a very big supporter and donor of hers, and he's calling her fleece now. I didn't do that. The truth did it. The truth did it. I don't know. I'm feeling very biblical today, guys. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. No, he who has ears, let them hear. Eileen, by trolls, he means truth tellers. Yep, in this case, yep, I believe you're right. If you want to call me a troll, you can call me anything you want. Don't call me late for supper. That's what my adopted dad used to say. Milky the Dandelion, I couldn't think any less of him if I tried now, and I hope he sees it. Oh yeah, well, I made sure I tagged his channel because whenever anybody looks it up. Constance June, it was not statutory. Those court docs prove it. It was not consensual. Tommy is disgusting. Yep. No still means no. Yeah. Did you see how he tried to spin it and cover it up and, you know, make it seem like he was a victim? Yeah, and I have heard from people who know him and knew him that he's tried to discredit that woman. Well, girl then, but woman now, tried to discredit her and say she was lying, which is horrible. Yep, he started as a rapist. Yep, that is what you're telling us. That's what is black and white, in black and white. Yep. He said, no, he was 17. Oh, he's almost 17. It was not statutory. Yeah, yep. His doctor offered her money for, yep. Right, and if she had taken the money, he could have said, well, she wanted it, you know? Yeah. Good morning, Subi. Yeah. He's actually slightly more than a year older. Well, according to the affidavit, about a year. It did have their birth dates. I could have gotten them wrong, but according to that, it was, I believe, I could have gotten it mixed up, but it was within a month either way. So I'll have to look at it again because I blacked it out. But I was in a hurry this morning, and I'm not very good at math because I grew up in a cult. But yeah, it was around a year. Definitely not less than 6 months. It was just about a solid year, if not more, or a tiny bit less. So yeah, what an idiot. This must be when I was showing his little, yep, just talking rubbish. Yeah. You're on the lie boat. Great kick in the sky. That violent, entitled mindset he showed at 15 is still dangerous. Well, 16, almost 17, right? Prison didn't change him. It taught him to hide it better. Yep, I don't believe he's a different person. I don't believe he's a changed person. I do believe people can change, but I don't see that he has. I really don't. Nope. Ben Bacon bits. Yeah, official court records say it wasn't statutory at all. Vermont didn't even prosecute such crimes as he describes. It's hard coded into the law saying that they don't. SA is not statutory. Not even close. It's not even close. Nope. Yeah, not the equivalent of dating. Exactly, Eileen. Right. People who don't like men who rape women are not anti-men. Yeah. Well, it's okay, Donna. I totally understand. I normally enjoy content, even if I say nothing but not this. I'm sorry. Yeah. Please take care of yourself. It's pretty awful. I know. Oh, okay. I really want to address this. Thank you. Donna, if Tommy is a liar, con man, or grifter, it is not on you to expose him as often as you do. It seems to be an obsession. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I have a couple things to say about that. I think that it's within my right. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. You don't have to comment. You don't have to subscribe. I totally get it. I'm not saying it in a mean way. I'm totally saying it like I sincerely mean that. There are reasons that I decided to do this because I have friends that have been affected by this because he's still out and about and doing it. And I have a little bit of a platform that I think I can use for good to warn people. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else that said, you seem obsessed with him. You seem like you're into him and all this, jealous of I literally just almost threw up in my mouth. And I don't want to insult the women that did fall for him. I get it. I get, he's got some charisma, but he is the last person that I'd be attracted to. In fact, that's part of the reason why, like, I am just so repulsed by him. And I happen to live in Vermont. I happen to live in this gorgeous, beautiful, idyllic setting. And I happen to be somebody who has the geographic ability and the platform to talk about it and the ability to go up there and film and talk about it. I'm sorry, Donna, if you don't like it, you seem like you're defending him a little bit. So, maybe just block my channel and don't watch it. So, I just think that's really horrible, a horrible thing to say, but okay, whatever. Stay Donna, nobody else is doing it. He's still preying on vulnerable women. We aren't willing to stand by and let it continue. Yes. And, to be fair, like, I'm doing it in this community, but also there's Susie's doing it and, Goot Juice and Knife Porter, trying to think of the other ones. All the FTG guys. Hey, I'm not part of their cool group. I'm not even in the group. I'm not in the group. I respect what they're doing and I agree with them and I am friendly with them. And if you don't like it, sue me. I'm not guilty by any association any more than a certain person who is claiming that they're not guilty of anything because they were married to two racists and they had a convicted sex offender around their child. And this person is saying that they're going to do background checks. There's a background right here. I'm talking about it right now. And those type of people, according to most statistics, do not change. They don't change. Ethan. So not calling it out is better than doing so. He still harms women left and right, and that deserves exposing. Yes. And I've heard from one of his ex-girlfriends, and she thanked me because she said she felt like something wasn't right. And then when she heard about this, it kind of put the pieces together, and she felt ill. She felt like, having nightmares and stuff. Like she's really upset about it. But at the same time, she's like, "Thank you. I really needed to know, and now I do. And now some things are making sense. So I'm just telling you what my sources are telling me, and I'm backing it up with proof and with history." Alien, beautiful place. Yes, it is. Very beautiful. Yep. I think somebody said part of it was filmed around that area. And there was another one, I can't remember what movie it was, but yeah, Great Game this guy. No, it wasn't statutory. It was violent. Great. Now he hides in his ex-Scientology space to exploit the vulnerable. He's no activist. He's an aggressor who preys on pain. Yes, he told Vanessa LaRose, who came out and did a live after all of this was brought out, and the long con video, which has since been deleted, was brought out by Reese. And Vanessa said that when he started being friendly with her, they dated, that he told her that he wanted to break into this ex-Scientology space. He said, it's trending. So he wanted a piece of the pie. And now it's the Jesters. I almost called Jesters. Yeah. Tiffany, I've driven through Woodstock, but not around. Wish I had. How pretty. I live in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's very pretty too. Yeah, Duncan took some great pictures when we were in New Hampshire too. But yeah, it's very, very pretty. Yeah, and he uses the term and used it recently, picking off the weak ones from the herd. Yeah, picking one off the herd. Predators do not target the strong ones of the herd. They identify the weakest and most vulnerable to tear apart. Yeah. Hey, Conda, good to see you. Oh, is that where Beetlejuice was filmed? East Corinth is about an hour north of Woodstock. Okay, George is nodding. Yeah. Thank you for doing the trigger warning again. Thank you. Hey, darling. Good to see you. You're catching up, so you start at the beginning. Start at the very beginning. I'm laughing because I know that you'll see something that you created for at the beginning, and thank you for that. You are awesome. Helicopter is amazing. Martha, Toots, is that disgusting? My daughter's school has no seniors dating freshmen or sophomore young ladies. Even actually, my daughter had that. Her school had that too. Less than 2-year age difference. Yeah, and in this case, it was. But in no circumstance is violent SA okay. No means no. No means no. Something used to sort. Yes, hi everyone. Didn't Tommy Brett do more crimes also? Yes. We will be going through the bank robberies and all that stuff, the drug trafficking, the felony possession of firearms, all that kind of stuff. We will go through the proof, the receipts of it. But there's so much, and I think that this is very important to talk about. I've talked about some other things I've done, like sections of it, and this is like the beginning. And because I decided to go, my husband and I went up to where it happened. That's why I'm talking about it. And I wanted to put it all together in more packaged form because I have him talking and saying, lying, and the way he's spinning it, making it sound like it was nothing. So if he's going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. He's a shepherd's hook. Thank you, Milky. I appreciate it. Because I am sensitive. Like I do want to do the right thing, and I'm like, when people say like, "Oh, you're obsessed," I'm like, "Am I?" I'm like, "Well, I guess to accomplish things, sometimes you do have to be a little fixated on it to get it accomplished." I'm passionate. I'm not obsessed with him. I have no attraction, nothing with him. But I have a passion to help people and to warn people, and I care about this community. I've been here for a few years now, and I love this community. So yeah, I'm not going to make it easy for him to worm his way back in. I'm not. Thank you so much, Robert B. Thanks for all your hard work for exposing Tommy Scoville for what he truly is. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I'm just scrolling down. Recording again. Thank you. Yeah, we definitely need that. Eileen, he played the reformed character well, but it was all a performance. Yeah. He has no clue what consent is. Poor girl. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be like people will be like, "Oh, I haven't seen that. Show me." And then I show them like, "Why are you so obsessed? Oh my god, I don't want to see that. Why are you talking about this? Why are you talking? You want me to show you?" And I'm showing you his lies too, which are recent. Hey, Lathonda, good to see you. The truth will always come to light. I'm glad all this is public now. Thank you. So am I. Constance, this is awful. Brett trying to say this is okay is all kinds of wrong. Tommy, Brett needs to go. Northern Girl. Let's not forget that he tormented her for years following his heinous actions. 100%. I don't know how he could show his face. I know. And he admitted to these actions, or at least the charge on record, on recording. So he not only did perform the SA, but he harassed her, sexually harassed her, and tried to bribe her, tried to corner her again. I think that it could have happened again, if she didn't get away. And I would think now, I mean, this is a long time ago, but I would think now in such a classy place, there's most likely cameras, at least in the hallways. So I would think so, because that place is pretty swanky. I actually looked at, I don't think I ever say the word swanky, but the only thing I could, posh, right? Posh. I looked into it. It was for, they call this mud season, off season, mud season. In the middle of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, $404 a night. So that was definitely not within my budget, but it's a very classy place. And yes, he did harass her for a long time after that. He said these scars and the trauma this girl will carry her whole life. He talks about it so nonchalantly. Yeah, he never served any time for it. I mean, he served time for other things, but he didn't serve time for this. Nice looking ass, beautiful place. David, funny, if I were a despicable excuse of a life form, Brett, the last thing I would want to do is be known publicly on any large scale, because the past is always there. Yeah, and same goes for other predators that have tried to infiltrate this community. People that are attracted to minors, that have a history, not just a one-off, such as Dave Litton of Echoplex Media. Yeah, trying to corner her, harass her, sexually harass her 6 or 7 times. 142 rooms and 2,000 acres. Oh wow, that is huge. Wow, can you imagine? And there must be a huge staff for that amount. Like, for him to corner her alone several times, he had to. I would think it would be premeditated. Just so gross. Yeah, we don't know, but I mean, he's definitely a serial offender for crimes, that's for sure. But maybe more victims will come forward. You never know. I hope so. I hope there are people that will be brave and come forward and go to law enforcement. Still today, he is convicted he can buy women and convinced. I'm sorry. Still today, he's convinced that he can buy women and that every woman has a price. He still didn't learn the meaning of consent. Well, yeah, you heard on that recording that he cons people, and he was bragging about it and said his brother was doing it too. And so he's trying to fool these women, and I think that he led some of them to believe that he really cared about them. Obviously, if not, we're in love with them. And all somebody else worried about was, were they pretty, and they looked like the Marlboro Man and all that. Yeah, I think it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed. Northern Girl, the strength she must have had to muster just to look at his face in person. Yeah. And she, I believe at the time that she finally came forward in 1990, so she would have been roughly around 18. She was still in high school at the time. And because remember, the law enforcement officer went to the high school to interview her, talk to her, but there's a difference between 15 and 18. I was very different. She probably did gain strength. And the fact that he was harassing her again, and even sexually harassing her and saying these disgusting things to her. And then when he found out that she was going to law enforcement, I mean, he's still doing that shit. Like, the day that I was going to interview the first time, Alan and Hef about this, he, in the middle of the night, was emailing me and threatening me with information that he got from trolls, just like what somebody else does. Not gonna say her name today. Back, I think I'm gonna make it a blocked word. Northern Girl, the strength she must have had to muster just to look at his face first. I know I read that, but yeah. That's pretty awful. Yeah, I was thinking that too, like to kind of be going through the motions at that restaurant and then walking down the street and having to calmly like draw it out of him while she's wearing a wire. Can you imagine being a kid like 18, which is considered like still young? Yeah. I wonder if that picture on Toots' wall is a picture of that covered bridge. Well, probably be easy to match up. I bet it is. Could be. Could be. Hey, Anna, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. Marilyn always comes with the receipts. Yes, I try to, because I think it's important to back up what you're saying. Robert B. This needs to be seen by everyone. Yeah, and that's why I'm revisiting it, because it's been said that it's like, oh, I didn't know. Well, here it is again. Here it is again. I think it is important to push out that information. George Massey, say hi to all the new mods. Yes, thankfully they are sanier than the OG mod. We need to bring some sanity to the chat. Yes, thank you so much to Arkansas Flamingo and Northern Girl and My Sharona. Thank you so much. We've got some fabulous new mods and fabulous old mods. Not that you all are old. We don't need no sanity. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Right? Give us time. We'll slide over to the dark. Yeah, they do have an influence. Trust me. These Brits, man. Constance June, Brett's actions have canceled himself. It is all on him, not Marilyn, for showing the truth. The space has no room for predators. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and the thing is, I wouldn't have to keep putting this out if I didn't keep lying, And it's like, well, you keep admit it. Just like people say, I'm not going to talk about the haters while I talk about the haters. It's like, well, if I feel it's necessary, if I feel like there's still a need for it, there you go. There it is. And I even made it in living color this time, and showed his, his own words. Hey, hon, just got off the phone. Okay, I think he has a dentist appointment. He's probably up at the A-frame. Hi, honey. Aileen, I worry about the lady you talked about in the recording with Reese. I hope she's okay. Yes, I think she's okay. But it was just terrible what was done to her. Yep. Ben Bacon myths, name calling such as troll, hater, etc., is used by those who simply want to move the issue aside and not address any facts. Exactly. Yeah. Just to go, reduce yourself to name calling and finger pointing and not addressing the issues. I was called a racist the other night, and I showed receipts to the contrary. I didn't be like, oh yeah, well I'm racist. Well, you're wrong. I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. Or just he says it all the time. All the Brits say that all the time. I didn't. I did tell someone to go F themselves. I did do that. Wasn't my proudest moment. I was pretty pissed. Why are you complaining again, Jordan? Maria? I'm not sure what that's about. Kiki Cookerson, sorry if I missed it, but did you find much info about his skincare? No, I asked around. No one's heard of it. I did put in a request. It might take a little while because it's Vermont after all. I did put in a request for the Historical Society. That's where I got that his picture with his class picture. That's where I got that. I put some feelers out, but I did basically order whatever information they have, whatever articles, because as I've said before, pretty much everybody but me in Vermont skis. So it's not uncommon to ski. I'm sure he did. As far as being a star or some type of competitor, I'm sure there has to be some record of it somewhere. So I haven't found it. So yeah, I guess the lack of evidence might tell you something, but I guess I can't prove that something didn't happen. The whole erasing the boy line is given serious entertainment. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people could argue like, I do believe that everybody needs, consideration. Everybody needs help sometimes, every group of people. So I don't exclude, boys, men, whatever, from, needing compassion and needing help sometimes, but it doesn't excuse violent SA. It doesn't. And testosterone doesn't make you do that. So, Kiki, I know it's a lie. I'm just curious if he lived his life someone else was a skier or if he skied at all. I believe he probably skied some. He's got this whole thing about his brain and concussions and all that. Who knows? Unless you saw some actual medical records. I don't know. I'm not that obsessed. But I just have the ability because I happen to live in Vermont and that's mostly what I've been exploring. But there was a skier named Brett Miller. I'm trying to remember so many things that kind of come across my desk, so to speak. I'm not sure if they are still living, but their birth date did not match at all. And it's definitely not him. Hey Jojo, good to see you. You want to watch from the beginning? Yeah, this is definitely one of those that you need to go back. If you're kind of coming in now, it's better to go back because I tried to make it kind of a standalone in the beginning. I might actually clip some of it for a separate video. I wanted it to be its own standalone. So that's why I didn't do a lot of greetings and comments in the beginning. Northern Girl, Maryland's platform reaches this community more than some other platforms may. The more eyes on this, the better. Thank you, Northern Girl. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and there's no reason for every creator to be talking about it. There's a lot of other things. I talk about other things. I've been talking about Scientology. I talk about other cults. I talk about, pets and all that stuff. But yeah, right now, I think it's important. And whatever, sue me. You don't like it. Ben Bacon Bits, from what I've been able to find, he may have skied. I think he did, but he was never an Olympic hopeful that was on another Brett. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, another Brett Miller who died. That's what I thought. Yeah. One sec, guys. I just want to get. I'm sorry, allergies are bad this time of year. Tommy/Brett still going to get back in the community. That's why Maryland is still exposing him. Yeah, I mean, I have a hunch that that's true. So just want to make sure that as many people as possible are warned. Brenda, if he felt guilty, he wouldn't continue to lie about it. People can change, but that indicates to me he has not changed. Yeah. Kiki, I guess the point of Tommy Scoville being a quote pro skier was to sad fish and gain sympathy for his bodily issues. Who knows? He definitely comes up with some schemes, doesn't he? Anna from Canada. Weak men target women. They fear men. So they go after him. He said it. He's basically said it. Brett is definitely no alpha male, right? Yeah, he's a coward. Yeah, you notice he came after me, threatened me, and not Ellen that morning. TS wants to be Jojo. Hey Jojo. Tommy Scoville wants to be a somebody when in fact he's a nobody, just an average Joe, with a history of SA robbery. Yep. Ben Bacon Bits, like the skier, there was another Brett Miller. I saw that who was a serial bank robber. He tried to take on his record to look like a badass, but that Brett is also dead. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. George is like, man, I don't know what's in the name, right? My eyes are starting to get a little blurry. Interesting. We know who you are. It's easier to con someone than to convince them that they have been conned. Those who double down or defend him can't admit that they were wrong. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, right, Maria. Some people don't even care about what he's done. That's really unfortunate. Milky, was he even a bank robber? Yes, he was. That I can confirm. It's not as motion picture Hollywood movie worthy as he makes it sound. It's more of the kind of getaway car kind of situation. But I will delve more into it. I have all those papers, but again, it takes a while. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. Constitution. He saw the money Aaron was making reporting on the Masterson trial. He wanted a part of that. I don't doubt it. Yeah. Oh my god, I've been to Meredith. Yeah, I know where Meredith is. He used to live in New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee. Yeah. Actually, I've gone to Meredith a bunch of times. My kids, I used to bring them up there. Oh, sorry, my doctor's calling. Let me get on mute. Jojo, they are the people who are happy, who as long as it doesn't affect them, they aren't bothered. As long as it doesn't affect them, they aren't bothered. Yeah. I hear you. Yes. Says beautiful inside and out, very brave. Yes, I love Vanessa. She's great. She's a sweetheart. A Tribe Called Duff. He kind of compared himself to a huge YouTuber, Shay. He's not has been. He's a never was. The way he's spinning it is vile. Yeah, it's funny how he and his brother will accuse other people being failed YouTubers, but they don't get that many views these days. And that's their own doing. That's not on anybody else. You can't blame anybody else for that. Because no one's lying about him. He's lying. We're truthing. Just saying. Milky? I wouldn't believe him if he told me the sky was blue now. Really good to see, by the way. Okay. That's cool. Among friends. I like the camaraderie in the chat. He said, minimizing the whole situation sounds exactly, yeah. Yeah, I call them a pred because there's this whole thing like, oh, they're not a PDF, they're blah, 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 blah. Okay, we'll go with pred. We'll go with child or minor pred. We'll go with that, whatever. It's still gross and disgusting and wrong. Constitution, I remember Mike Brown said, YouTuber who studied analytics said doing ex-Scientology content, one could get monetized faster and larger subscriber count than normal. Brett, I think, wanted that. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Because he told Vanessa that Scientology is trending. I want a piece of it. And yeah, he did. Thank you, Asim. It's not obsession and not everything is attraction. It's just the lack of apathy. Yeah. People with their hearts in the right place care, others don't get harmed. Yep. Like that guy. Agreed. Northern Girl. There's no convincing me that a 17-year-old does not know that forcing yourself on a girl is wrong. For him or anyone to defend this behavior is unconscionable. Yes. Yeah. And if you want to call me obsessed for trying to protect people, all right. There it is. Yeah. I'm obsessed with trying to help people and trying to protect them. Guilty. David, many who have invested much emotionally in these people find it impossible to believe that they could be conned. Yeah. Yeah. And that's another reason why I think that it's probably a good thing for me to not have been involved in the lifeboat, because I can be a little bit more, I guess, objective. I can kind of see for what it is, because I've never been like conned by him or really taken in. The closest I did was that one time when he said something that helped me when I was quitting smoking. Other than that, he repelled me from the beginning. I was like, ugh. So yeah, and like I said, we had that Vermont connection. And so I started digging, and that's what I do. That's just part of me. Brenda, that girl was brave to report, many not so brave. So no idea how many victims he could have. True. Yeah. Hey, Helicopter, this is awful to listen to, but I appreciate your pursuit for the truth. You always provide receipts. I think you may just help someone in the future. I hope so. Thank you, honey. That means a lot. Appreciate that. Susie, allegedly, he now used duck pills. Now, convenient. Right. Yeah. For more about that, we talked about it at length the other day. It was Saturday with Hef and Alan, and Alan told his side. I played where he said it was Cialis. He said it wasn't. Alan said it definitely wasn't. And who are you going to believe? I'm going to believe Alan. I'm not going to believe the convicted felon, SA or bank robber and con man, recently self-admitted con man. So that's what I'm going to believe. Just saying. I agree, Milky. Absolute respect for that young girl and the woman she's become. She deserves all the kindness in this world. Sending her good vibes. Yeah. And I'm sorry she didn't get more justice than she did. But yeah, it's he never served time for it. He served time for other things. But we're talking about it now. Better late than never. And he's been spinning it and trying to. And that's another thing. See, I get obsessed when people call me obsessed. That's another thing, is that if he is allowed or able or has been discrediting her and spinning it and lying about it, why can't we tell the truth? Why can't we, for her sake, be putting the truth out there? Because a lot of people have just bought his lies and they didn't have any truth to as an alternative, A Tribe Called Duff, if he was innocent, which he isn't, he wouldn't have continued to make contact with the victim. He would run a mile. He's a liar, and what you and others are doing isn't hate, it's fact. Yeah. Yeah. I guess at this point, you want to call me a hater? Go for it. I mean, I don't like him. I don't necessarily feel hate. I hated being called a racist by somebody, but yeah, I'm just kind of like, man, I don't care about him. I care about his victims. So that's what I care about. I don't even care about him enough to hate him. I don't. Great gig in the sky. Funny how, as someone who once fell for his crap hard, seeing it all exposed like this is the best crash course, and don't get played by clowns like this again. Yeah. And seriously, I'm right with you, because I have been taken in by people, and I don't want to join another one. So I've learned to trust my instincts, and sometimes I don't say anything about it, but then later on, like the Tommy thing, I had a little bit of a like red flag kind of go up from the very beginning, and I didn't say anything about it because I had no proof. Now I have proof. Now I can talk about it. Has anyone spoken to the Chili Pepper community about this? I don't know. I don't really know about that community. I know the FTG guys are part of some Chili Pepper community. I guess there's others. If you're talking about Kurt, Johnny, I don't know. I don't know if he's even still welcome in that community or not. Yes, their mods have their work to do. Well done. Thank you for showing appreciation. Our mods are amazing. Yeah, if they sit under the rocks, there'll be nothing to say. Yep, exactly. You can swear all you like. Thank you. Right. Weaponizing. Yep. No valid argument. Racist. Yeah. I'd like to see the proof. He said, no need to be modest in your language when it comes to people who deserve it. Be more like your Brit mods, or like German like me. Yeah, you guys are influencing me. Because I did say it for my kids. I was like, Mom, I'm sorry. Blame all my British friends. You see this way sometime. I'll never forget. Caesar came to her. Yeah, one morning said her toaster was being a CU next to his A. It's like, toaster? Like, I usually reserve that word. If I ever use it, I reserve it for certain things, not a toaster. But then I was just like, that is hilarious. He said, even my 10-year-old grandson knows what consent is. Right. Yeah. Keep your hands to yourself, right? Hey, Martha. I also live in a small town here in Vermont, and at times, like living in a fishbowl, everyone knows what goes on with the locals. Yep. Exactly. And Brett is not welcome. Rosanna, Dana. I love that. I love the original. Speaking of OGs, SNL. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. Olympic grifter. Yeah. Olympic level grifter. Bye. Space Bear, you're probably already gone by 15 minutes. Sorry. Kim Roy. Technically, we're all Olympic hopefuls. Yeah, we hope. Ballerina, football, pianist, we all want to be the best. Some of us find out our talents don't match our hopes. Right? Mm. Buckle the buttercup. Brett Miller was in the 1999 World University Games relay. He skied the anchor leg and moved the U.S. team up from 7th place at exchange to 4th. He died in 2003 after a long battle with melanoma. Aw, that's sad. Hope so. Yeah, there you go. Maybe identity theft. Right. Let's be honest. He probably wasn't a pro skier. It would be easier to find the info if it were true. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, just scooting. Hey, Pause for Andrea. It's good to see you. Been catching up, listening in the background. Appreciate you and your chat. Marilyn, truth matters. Yes. Hashtag truth matters. I agree. Great King the Sky. If you're going to help, then help. Don't rip off the funds you raised wrapped in the guise of helping people to get off drugs. Yeah, I mean, that's fraud and criminal activity. I mean, he admitted it, right? On tape. Wow. Sage, I do hope this brings to light his grift, and he's currently still grifting. Yeah, 100%. He my shorts. I believe Alan Neff over lifelong liar, scammer, offender. 100%. Go agrees too. Yeah. Joanne Ventrella. She's getting justice by you and other YouTubers. Exposing him every day for the crime he committed against her. Yeah. And I get mocked for being emotional. Too reactive. Well, you know what? I like my reactive mind. I like it. And I like my emotions. And I like having compassion. So if you want to be hardened and not care about this precious soul, this woman, that's on you. That's on you. But I care because this should not happen. And this person should not be elevated. And it definitely is not going to be allowed to infiltrate this community again. And hopefully we can warn people in other communities as well. So what is wrong with that? Nothing, I don't think. Ben Bacon bits. At some point, it's no longer wise to believe someone who appears to be a pathological liar. Some of the lies are so minor. It's like, why even lie about that? 100%. Yeah, from both of them. Yep. And you want to talk about receipts? I mean, I have texted just like stupid lies. Like, I'm going here for this reason, and then tells her chat that reason, and then tells somebody else, and then comes clean and tells a third reason for going somewhere. There was no reason to lie about that. It's insane. I think that's some kind of a personality flaw, disorder, whatever. A lot of things. Milky, if standing alongside those fighting against predators, then I'm a proud hater. Yep. Iron Sword. Fuck that guy for life. Yep. Always and forever. I'll say it all day long. Okay, the Chile community knows most apparently excuse it. Ugh. Well, I'm sure women don't excuse it. I hope. Hey, Anna. The truth matters. Don't ever let anyone quiet you, Marilyn. You are appreciated. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Yeah, it's been almost 2 years that I've been kind of fell into this whole thing of my channel will be 2 years old in a month, a little less than a month, and about a month. And yeah, it started with the Goldie thing, the aftermath thing, all these things that people were afraid to talk about, told not to talk about, that affected our community. And I said, come on over, we'll talk about it. And we can talk about it without slandering people, without lying, without being totally, like base. I can show facts and we can talk about the truth. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. If you don't want to be exposed, don't do it. And listen, I know I'm not perfect. I apologize for things. I've definitely made mistakes. If I had to do probably things I wouldn't have said, wouldn't have done. But there's a lot of things that I haven't said and done because I don't want to hurt people. But I think that this is important for the good of everyone that's involved. So yeah, and even for the perpetrators, it's good for them to not be getting away with this. Finally, to not get away with it. So thank you so much, Anna. Yeah, I hear you, Glenda. I'm not gonna pop it up, but I hear you. Milky, where I'm from, the C word is term of endearment. Wow. George is like, yeah. Oh, goodness. David, yeah, the versatility of C words. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It is not. It is like the worst. It's worse than the F word over here. Yeah. Keep my shorts. I like to think I'm in the Chile community, but I'm way out of the loop on things here. Definitely do not excuse Brett Kurt's actions. Exactly. Thank you, Glenda. Just scrolling. I'm getting towards the end. I see George is getting tired. He stopped starring. Martha, yeah, I don't even want to mention her or her new nickname that Cheryl gave her, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, I hear you. I'm just putting this one up. Yeah, there's no excuse. And defending Brett or David Litton is just shameful and terrible. And just, basically says a lot about them, the people that are defending him. Thank you, Anna. I remember Marilyn from before she started her channel. You've been with me since the beginning. Thank you, Anna. This is a good point. Great kid. I wonder how the real skier, Brett Miller's family, would feel to know someone like this effing guy is stealing their son's valor. Yeah. Agreed. Iron Sword. Can't believe this guy's still making money. Mary Reno. If no one speaks up, then what? More people will get hurt, used, and abused. You are doing a really important thing. I was essayed at age 13. It's a really important topic. Thank you. Sorry that happened to you. Yeah, that's why we do it. That's why we talk about it. This is something that is very painful. As you can see, I've experienced some terrible things myself. So along those lines, yeah, I understand. Oh my God. George, I said the C word at a work. What's the work function when I first arrived in the US? The whole room gasped and stared me down. I soon learned it was a no-go. George, my pearls. Oh my goodness, my pearls. Great King in the Sky. Marilyn, would you consider doing a multi-part expose, so to speak, on who this map community is, where they infiltrate, and what to look out for? Yeah, at some point I probably will. I've thought about it because it actually is like a movement. And even in some academic circles, it's kind of become like a thing. It shouldn't be a thing as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, like when see that, it's like I cringe because I hate talking about this stuff. You know, people think I'm obsessed and I'm enjoying this. No, I'm not enjoying it, but I think it's important. So I will definitely think about it. I want to base myself. I want to talk about other things. Maybe we'll talk about bank robbery, but I want to talk about other cults and other stuff and puppies and Scientology and all the other things too, because this is not my favorite subject. Bacon he has Ben Bacon he has stolen goods on his record too. Yeah, yeah. I just scanned a lot of those. I saw there was a lot there. He has quite the record. All right, guys. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, it was a lot. So I'm not sure what I'll be doing the next few days. I just had been mostly preparing for this to put this out. I'm not going to do a whole back and forth with mudslinging and responding to things unless I feel like I need to respond to a lie and I have a receipt that because I did last night on my community page. I was not going to go live about it and all this and refute it. I can refute it with receipts and with proof. So there we have it. And I guess I will do another little outro, the same as I used for the intro. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks. Bye.
Do you know what the word con comes from? Con man? It comes from the word confidence. It's confidence, man. Long cons take very, very long periods of time. Hey, everybody, I'm Tommy, and you were on the lifeboat. Short cons. A person in a really nice outfit goes in front of something like a casino or whatever, and he's cursing and running his fingers through his hair, freaking out, and he wants to be spotted. If I could get $5 grand to get back in there, and then he says, hey, my watch is worth 35. You're not asking for their confidence. You're giving them confidence. You say, all right. So you get back out there and you go, look, man, you get just $5 grand, right? He goes to the bank, he gets the $5 grand. Well, while he's doing that, you swap out, obviously, for the fake. That's called a short con.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be soon, but the problem is they look at poor, what's his name? What the fuck is his name? Twitch. I told you that guy was murdered. I told you. Gay sex and drugs and had to do a deal. I fucking told you. I'm a baby scoop era infant adoptee. See? Baby scoop. They make it, these fucking women that can't have kids go to adoption agencies and they're like, I can't have a kid. So let me take your drug addicted, why the hell did you give your baby to the system kid, right? Why the hell did you do that? And let's take that baby, right? And then give it to you. Because if you're so uptight that you can't have a child for whatever reason, don't hate me. Don't come on here and fucking hate me. If you can't have a child of your own body and you're so neurotic about it that you have to take somebody's throwaway child, you want to think twice. You're not helping them. What you're doing is taking them into another family unit. And I'm sorry, this is my opinion as an adopted person. You're taking them into another family unit where you will never understand how they are. And I knew that when I had my firstborn. When I had Jason, I'm like, I understand his energy. No wonder these people didn't. Because you can't. And you can't just take a fucking child, name the child, put them in a random family, change their fucking name, and say, now behave like this family. It doesn't work. For some. For most. That's all I'm saying. Like why, and to the mothers who give their kids up, something's wrong with you that you allow people to tell you that. Something is wrong with you. Sorry. I know y'all gonna hate me. I know there's a lot of good people out there. I just don't think so. No, I'm sure everybody was in on Twitch's murder. Why? Because they all want money. Because they keep incarnating into money cycles where they think that this money and fame is important. That's how you know they sold out. They sold out a long time ago and they keep incarnating, and they tell you how to live. Like your money's important. Like it's, what's his booze company? This bitch is selling booze as well. I mean, Laroc, whatever, was it tequila? Oh, I know Prince was killed. You telling me Prince went outside Walmart and got a fentanyl pill because he's Prince? Okay, sure thing. But let's get back to Diddy, because why not? First of all, and y'all, I didn't even know Jaguar was on the chat last time. Didn't even know it. Like I saw you talking about her, but it didn't retain in my brain. Vodka, thank you. I don't know, I don't drink. But let's go right back to Diddy. So Diddy, R. Kelly, Jay-Z. Jay-Z doesn't have an original bone in his body. He pimps his baby out, his baby mama out, whatever. He has affairs. He's a scumbag. He's ugly. He's ugly. He's ugly. Ugly. and he was good friends with alcohol syndrome, fetal syndrome, P. Diddy. Another reason not to drink. Now, how's that for a play on words? Alcohol syndrome, let me sell alcohol. No thanks. No thanks. Yes, of course. But now let's go. Clive Davis, David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Let's keep going. Tom Hanks. Isaac Kappa, you know that, all of that. But let's go above that. Let's go above that. Why is somebody so interested in running sick-ass people as celebrities through America? Because it's basically America that had, oh, Quincy Jones. Yeah, I remember the news when he had sex with his daughter, okay? That was all over the papers. I'm old enough to know that. I have no respect for Quincy Jones. He fucked his daughter. I mean, that was actually in the paper. That was reported when I was a kid. I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Bye-bye. No, not that daughter. I think the one he had with Peggy Lipton. I can't quite remember. I think it was the one that looks more white, whichever one. But then let's look at Quincy Jones and Tupac. Who was dating Tupac? Who would have been in the circle to take Tupac out? Who's closest to a man when he ain't fucking a bunch of men? Vaginas, women. See what I'm saying? So there you go. Anyway, let's go above that. So we've got all of those people mentioned. So let's go. Why? No, the Kardashians are Satanists. They're not odd anything. They're sold out. They're sold out. Well, one of them with her, I think. But anyway, they're sold out. Okay, the Kardashians. Why would those people be our icons? Because they're naturally beautiful? Not. And by the way, I was told by a musician friend of mine a good 15 years ago that Kanye was gay. That is how Kim got on the cover of Vogue. That is why. Because the guy that Kanye was fucking worked for Anna Winthrop. That woman with the weirdo hair. Her, the fashion icon. How did she get that job? Is she really stylish? Because she's kind of ugly in the face. I mean, if you're going to be a fashion icon, why do you have a face like that? I'm sorry, I said it. God, I'm going to get thrown off here. I'm going to get in trouble. No, but she's not an attractive woman. She's a put-together woman, but she is not an attractive woman. And she's running fashion. Why is she running fashion? Because she knows fashion. She wears the same thing. So she's ugly. She's got a really bad nose. She's not really attractive. Like, I look at her and I'm like, so ask yourself. And I was told that by somebody who saw Kanye in the same circle. Okay, so that's not, of course, that face is inverted. It's a man face, exactly. She's got a Roman nose. She be a man. She be a man. I'm sorry, I'm just not putting up with it. Best looking, what do they say? Most beautiful man in the world. And then they put up Chrissy Teigen's husband, John Legend. Okay, first of all, he's 5 foot nothing. Secondly, he's got bloat from whatever he does. Thirdly, he looks like a weird child. Fourthly, what? What? Why is he beautiful? Do you not see what they do? Bloated from alcohol. Yeah, do you not see what they do? I mean, Selma Hayek ended up on Sports Illustrated. She's my age. Not saying she's not good looking. She's definitely good looking, but she's old. That's not what Sports Illustrated is. And she runs with her husband a trafficking agency and Balenciaga. I mean, why do you think she got on the cover? Why? Well, just why? Because of her good deeds? Or thinky? Yeah, anytime you see these people, Chrissy's a man, lady, boy, man, whatever Chrissy is. Oh my God, you guys, I don't know. You guys, that Blake Lively, I don't even understand. She seems like a snot ass bitch, but I can't even stand I can't even look at it. Did you hear? I posted it on my Instagram. Don't know if it's true. Could just be something stupid. But that one of the P. Diddy videos is Miss, what's her name? Blake Lively with an autistic child doing a Hillary Clinton. Do you know what I'm saying with that? I really don't want to get thrown off here tonight. So she was filmed doing what they all do with children. They murder children. This was an autistic child. That's what it said. Now, I just have to ask you this. If you are going to do that stuff, why are you letting someone film you? Why, if you're going to a freak off, are you letting people film you? Like if you go to a party at a celebrity's house for their own amusement, they have cameras. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, I know it's blackmail, but they have cameras. Yeah, exactly. So let's get back to, I want you guys to think. Why are they taking down America? Why are they taking down America? America has the biggest bunch of asshole celebrities, asshole politicians, asshole FDA people, stupid COVID vaccinating poison people, okay? That's your government mentality. Everybody take a vaccine. I will never take what you want me to take. I'm fucking healthy and I'm not doing it. So I don't have to put your rape needle in my body. So keep in mind, they don't want you, you can report rape, but I have to be blackmailed to pay a living and get an injection. That's a rape needle, right? Anyhow, who wants to take down America? America's a ghetto ass place. Who wants to take down America though? So it's not going to be P. Diddy. Why does P. Diddy have that power to move around? Right. So they use him like a honeypot. A Tootsie Roll size honeypot. That bitch is a honeypot, you know? He sidles up. He's got money. He's got girls. He's got dicks. He's got porn. He's got vodka. He's got all of that. But who wants him to run around doing what Hugh Hefner did for the CIA? Who? Let's go above. Yes, Russia. You got it, Johnny Bahama. I was hoping. Putin. Who fucking poisons everybody on Earth? Putin. Putin, like, he'll just throw shit in your food. Like, that's why you can't eat with these people. That's why Bush died a long time ago. That wasn't Bush. Like, they poison your ass. They poison. Putin poisons. What does Diddy do? I'll be sure. Jamie Foxx, Kim Porter, and God knows who else. Poison, poison, poison. Russia. So now we know who's trying to take us down. It's Mr. Friendly Putin who's acting a certain way. And why was Pamela Anderson over there in Russia? How come they let Pamela Anderson into a jail where Julian Assange was? I want to understand. Like, did Julian have family or was it just Pamela Anderson? Curious. Curious. No, it's definitely Putin. Bush Sr. I think he went, the Mossad, could be the Mossad too. Exactly. Okay, she had a relationship with him. How did that happen? How did that happen? He was in jail for like 10 years. So did she know Knights of Templar? Yes. Did she know about that? Did she know that he was going to go to jail? Oh, I know Snoop Dogg did. Yeah. What's his name? Snoop Dogg's, oh my God, what is his name? I just completely, part of the Stink team. Poor Jesse died this year and the other one died on Keith's birthday 2 years before that. So 4 out of 5 of the Stink team. And I can't, his name just went out of my head. Definitely Snoop Dogg. Because he can't have them. No, not Foolio. No, not Dr. Dre. No, not Foolio, not Nipsey. Nipsey was killed, LAPD. Not Nipsey. Oh my God. I did a video on him. Drakey. Oh, Drakeo. Yes, the ruler. Draco the ruler. Yeah. So that was a Snoop Dogg thing. And then Jesse, of course, happened after. And they got one more Stink Team member left. And if I were that guy, I would leave the city. I know they won't, but I would because there's probably a hit on him. Definitely do that. Fulio was taken down. Yes, exactly. Fulio was taken down too. They take him down. They set the black man up to go out and rap about a position in life that the government has placed them in and told everybody else that that's who they are. And we listen as people, not me personally, but people listen. DMX was, they tried to put a hit on DMX all the time because he spoke the truth, but he's Gen X and he wasn't going to bend over. According to him, he wasn't going to bend over. But they take the black man and they take them down. And then they tell people, society who isn't black, you got to point the fingers. Like, just, I'm just so fucking curious. I can't, okay? Yes, Rachel Chandler, child handler. You know how long I've been talking about that troll, Clinton's little friend. Rachel Chandler, child handler, modeling agency, kid procurer, former prostitute, baby girl prostitute. Yeah. Anyway, why would we as Ali Carter's not missing. Why would we as a society, like I'm just trying to think, I did not have slaves and my family did not have slaves. We're not from this country. We may have had servants, but they were not black because we're Vikings. So we just killed everybody around us. Anyway, don't come for me with that. And don't put it on all white people. However, as a society, do you guys not see the black people were literally taken from their homeland and trafficked to be subservient in America? Why would anybody think that that's fucking okay? Who thinks that's okay? And if your relatives thought it was okay, then they're fucking assholes. Who thinks that's all right? We write it in the history books, and then we take the black man from the plantation, black woman, black people, take them from the plantation, fetus in a jar. Look that up, Barbara Bush. You'll never get over it. You'll see a MK Ultra inverted male, Aleister Crowley's child. You'll see her look like, boing, what do you mean I kept the fetus? Because all doctors give us our miscarried fetuses or aborted fetuses, because that happens all the time. I can't even get my teeth back to put under my pillow, hoping the tooth fairy comes. Anyway, when you look at the black culture, the government has continued to facilitate it. Your school in your neighborhood gets air conditioning, food, and blah, blah, blah. In the project areas, no money goes, but we're paying the government. Why the hell is the government negating those areas of town? I would like to understand that. And why are they populating a bunch of people that they give money to coming across the borders for no reason other than they cross the borders when the black communities don't have proper schools? The native communities don't have proper schools. They don't have school lunches. They're in poverty. Why isn't the money going to them? And I'm being serious. And I don't care what you think of me. You can tell me I'm not nice to the people who jump the border. I don't care. I don't care. I pay taxes. I pay a shit ton of taxes, okay? I have employees. I pay corporate taxes. I pay a lot of taxes. So my tax money, your gas money, your soda money, all of that goes to these people that are crossing the border and going into 5-star hotels, but not the community that has the rundown school with the toilets that don't flush and the graffiti on the side and the not hot lunch meals. And then they're all on welfare and they're in huge project buildings. Why? 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 Oh, you put the native people onto reservations that are gridded so they can't succeed. And then you tell them you're going to make a deal with them and you're going to have them run gambling casinos, the most evil that you can think of. And you're going to make them in charge of it. And then you're going to tax them for that money. Oh, there's no tax on the Indian reservation gaming, gambling. Think about that. Why don't you just open up a crack shop? Why don't you just have a fucking brothel right there? Curious. Kids should, and proper meals, okay? Not the crap they gave my kids. I told you how many arguments I got into with school principals with my kids when they wanted me to sign up for free food. I couldn't do it. I'm not taking your government handout. And I got yelled at. I took my kids out of several schools because the first thing they asked me is to fill out that paperwork. The principal called me in and said, we get more money. I said, that's not my problem. I pay taxes. This is a public school, not my fucking problem. Not my fucking problem. Okay? Seriously. Why do we allow this? As were the Irish, exactly. Why do we allow this? What do you think of ayahuasca? Well, I'm not doing it, but if you have to smoke something to be spiritual, then you're not really spiritual. Are you? Yes, you paid for your kids' lunches. They wanted me to sign up so that the school could get more money from the government, as in lying to the government. But I'm not going to sign up for it because my moral compass is not going to take food away. Like, I make money, I will pay for my own kids. I don't need your EBT. I don't need your shit. Stop trying to shove it down my throat. That's how California is. I don't know about other states. They made ketchup. I loved ketchup soup. No, I couldn't. I just was like, I can't mentally do it. That just makes me, no, I can't. I won't. I'm not. That principal yelled at me and called me in and have you done trauma therapy? No. No, I haven't done trauma therapy. What I have done though, I don't believe in therapy. So there we go with that. You can heal yourself in different ways, but no, I'm sober. I exercise every day. I've lived my life the same way. I'm kind to people. I help people. I take care of my family. That is my trauma healing. That is it. My son died. I don't know what to say about that, right? There is no cure for that. You can go to all the therapy you want. Your son is still dead. Your daughter is still dead. You will never clear that from your body, so stop pretending like it's going to get better. There's nothing a therapist can tell you about losing a child unless they've lost a child. And even then, they're going to tell you there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to have to learn to live with it and hopefully not destroy yourself. And that's what they're going to say. That's it. I mean, what are you going to tell me about losing a child? Why the fuck am I going to therapy for? What am I doing? You're going to tell me how I feel? You're going to tell me to do shit? What are you going to tell me to do? I'm sober. I know what to do. I'm going to have to deal with the death of my son. That's what I'm going to have to do. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, therapy is shit for grief. Well, you can't bring my son back. And nobody, sorry, dry mouth again. And Anthony knows this. And Anthony goes through it because he lost his family. Anthony, it was 2 children and your wife. Is that right? I shouldn't even bring that up, but hold on, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony knows. He knows that every day he himself has to make that decision to not take it out on himself, to make a decision to wake up and take care of himself. No, you have to face it. I do exercise. When my stepson died, when Keith was born, and I had postpartum depression, and I had all of, those things going on, I was walking and running 13, 14 miles a day. It's the first thing I did. I got up. So I didn't shower. I shaved all my hair off. I tend to do that too. I'll shave my hair. I'll cut it down real short. I did all of that. I wore socks and sandals. That's how deranged I was. And I walked just like 13, 14 miles a day. I took the kid on my back. I went up and down. I just started walking. I was so devastated by his passing. And then when Keith died, I would drive out to Palm Springs. I would hike random, just all the time, hike. That's it. I run 8 miles a day. I take 2 or 3 classes a day. That is how I handle it. And until you've dealt with it, fucking tell me how to handle it. And I'm not saying you can't go talk to somebody. You can. But like John said when his first son died, you know what he said? He went to the therapist and he said, all they do is talk about what happened to his son, my stepson. And he said, I can't handle it. All I do is cry. And he's right. He's right. Well, yes, but I'm saying a therapist, of course, everybody mourns differently. I'm telling you, when your kid dies, not just grief, child grief, When your kid dies, you're going to have to deal with that yourself, because most of your friends aren't going to want to talk to you because they're afraid of you because your kid died and they don't want to hear it. That's the first thing. Second thing is they're going to have to love you enough to listen to your rage, your anger, and your everything. Okay, so you're going to have to do it. I have a good group of girlfriends that did not let me go for a second. So shout out Kelly, Kim, and Cindy. They didn't stop me. My son's friends didn't stop calling. I still got Mother's Day's texts from Keithy's friends. I get texts from people. They help. My son's friends, Keith's friends, Paige, little Paige, Mama Paige, you know, she's a little mama. She checked on me. People check. They just let me talk. They let me sit. They let me hike. They let me do whatever. So it's just, yeah, I know. John couldn't handle it. John just was like, I can't sit there and cry for an hour all the time, you know? Can Keith and others give stronger signs? Keith gave a pretty strong sign. He came into my blanket on this channel. I think it was September of 2020. Yes, they can give strong signs. It's up to their energy. Yes, Deanna was with me every second of the day. I called Deanna 500 times a day. She listened to me. She listened to me. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about psychically. I'm talking about I called her and where is my fucking son? Like, you know, is John gay? I don't know. Is John gay? I wouldn't know. I don't know what anybody is. Yeah, Deanna was there. And then when her grandson died, I went right to her. So it's the same thing. She knows it. She knows the same fucking thing. She found her grandson passed away. She found her Jesse passed away. Same age as my Jason. And she found him. And so I remember that. Happened on Keith's birthday. Well, the day after Keith's birthday. And in fact, I was with Keithy's friends because I throw those dinner parties for Keith. And Keith had a huge rapper community. His little friends were like Shoreline Mafia. He knew Jesse. And they had the same kind of like little circle of friends, okay? Keith wasn't a rapper. I kept telling him, you're a Canadian boy with strawberry hair and freckles. But he had his little group of friends. And actually, several of his friends are well-known rappers. But so they came to Keith's service. Obviously, they went through school with him. And Jesse was at Keith's service of life. Oh, your son's birthday. Your son's a Leo. So anyway, I can see Jesse very vividly talking, saying hi to my husband, talking to me, sitting with his mom, sitting with his grandma, while we were there. And yes, I do believe in palmistry. Anyway, the night of Keith's birthday, we had the party at the restaurant that I always have it in. Andrew's parents run a restaurant, and that's where I go. Anyway, so we had the party there, and we were in the parking lot, and one of the kids brings up Jesse, and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, do you know, I know his grandmother for like 30 years, right? And anyway, yeah, Sunshine, Little Miss Sunshine up there. Yeah, she was at Jesse's concert that night, if I'm correct, if that is you. I think that's your handle. But anyway, 15 on Monday. But anyway, he was mentioning Jesse. And the next morning, he messaged me and said, holy crap, he's dead. And I just remember I woke straight up. It was actually like early. It is you, little sunshine. Yeah, she was at Jesse's concert with Deanna. She was over there. So she was there. But anyway, I went straight over there. I think I was over there at Thursday night. I had to finish what I was doing. I had appointments, but I went straight over there. I was just fucking beside myself. I couldn't fucking believe it. And you know what? His mother was very psychic because okay, stop with the pitch. She called me like 2 weeks and she asked me if one of her children was going to be harmed. She has 3. I did not focus on the grown-ass one. I focused on the little one. So she had an inclination, like I had an inclination. Jesse was a good kid. He was a funny kid. He was a funny kid. And he was always the apple of his grandma's eye. So he was very anxious. He knew. And I know I know what I know. And here's another thing. And I'm just going to say this to you. He said he just wanted to perform and leave. Yeah, I know. And I know he did, but he could feel it. Jesse was very psychic. That's the one thing. He was a very psychic boy, young man. And he was a funny young man. He was a good kid. Heaven is a better place. He was a good kid. I mean, he was, him, but he was a good kid. Yeah, no, it's terrible. And I'll tell you something. If you are out there, yes, I do think he will get out of jail. However, when you get out of jail, they'll put a hit on you. They put a hit on you in jail. They put a hit on you and out. What's an easy way? Remember this in our society. Yes, Jesse died, Deanna's grandson. He died the 19th of December. Yeah. Young man. Yeah. Young man. Heartbroken for his family, heartbroken for him. Yeah, just heartbroken. But like I said to Deanna, I don't know how you're going to get, hold on, let's see. He gave money to the kids selling chocolate outside the Roxy Theater. You mean the scammer kids? $7 for a chocolate bar, those kids? That's funny as shit, right? Those kids come by, they're like, it's $7. I'm like, no, chocolate bar is $7. It's not that good. Yeah, spiritual war. He's exactly right. Spiritual warfare. That's exactly right. The day I went to the police station, I was on the phone with Arlene to get my son's, the paperwork to get Keith's motorcycle from the crooked tow truck place. I had to go to the division to get a paperwork to sign it, to get it out, right? The first thing that cop said to me, and I was on speakerphone with my friend, was, it's spiritual warfare. I knew exactly what they were doing. It is spiritual. They tell you alcohol's legal. Understand, they want to take you out with it. They want to distract you from your God soul path. They give you weed. Weed is legal. It's cool. It's not cool if it's legalized by the government. They just want your money.